What is up? What is up? Greetings, happy Friday, happy weekend, I guess. And long time no see. I don't know. I'm kind of on a regular, if less frequent schedule these days, so it's not too different from the last couple of weeks, I guess. Sage, Chaozu, people lurking, people in chat, VOD viewers, everyone else, welcome, welcome. And no worries, Sage, of course. You know, I'm a Twitch viewer as well. You're rarely, if ever, giving any stream your full attention. That's cool. People can feel free to lurk, watch however dedicatedly or not you want. I wouldn't I wouldn't ask of anyone to stay glued to my stream for hours and hours and hours, so no no offense taken whatsoever. Yeah, once again, it's we've ended up with kind of a like 6-week something gap since the last time we played more Batman. I think it's pretty clear to say at this point that my ambition at some point earlier this year to wrap up the Caped Crusade by the end of 2019 is not gonna happen. But I don't want to put it completely by the wayside. We're gonna squeeze in some games where we can. Ushi, what's up? Happy Friday. So tonight we're gonna play through Harley Quinn's Revenge, the story DLC for Arkham City. I was a little torn because there are some like side mission stuff for Arkham City that I wanted to maybe do. So I prepared some FAQ map stuff to like find all the side quest shit, so we don't have to go digging for that for hours if we decide to do that. But I don't really know how long this Harley Quinn thing is. I figured we'll play through that, and if it's like an hour long or whatever, if we finish it, we'll probably just dick around with some side quest stuff in the original game to kind of round out the stream. I kind of wanted to do that at some point, but it's not something I feel is like crucial for the level of completion that I'm aiming for with this endeavor anyway. But we'll see. We might dick around a little bit with that. But yeah, so next up after this is going to be Lego Batman 2, which I'm sort of dreading, sort of looking forward to. The first Lego Batman had its charm, but it really kind of wore out its welcome. There was so little to the game that just kind of grinding through it. Like, I don't know, I'm sure it's good fun with a friend or a kid or whatever, but just kind of pushing through it by myself, like I didn't really enjoy it all that much. And I think Lego Batman 2, like the first Lego Batman, is one of the earlier Lego games. I don't think the formula changed that much, but I want to say that it probably changed a little bit. So I'm curious to see if and how the second game is any different, but I don't expect it to be riveting. And after that, there's the next Arkham, what is it called? Origins? There's the 2D Metroid spin-off kind of thing based on that, which I'm curious about. I don't think it's going to be great, but at this rate, there's not that much stuff left that I haven't played before, so anything that we're getting to at this point that I haven't played, I'll be interested to check out. In any case, we're going to try to push forward a little bit and try to wrap up this quest, if not by the end of 2019, at least within the foreseeable future. Yeah, the Lego games, I mean, there's just not a lot to them mechanically. I think in a lot of ways it's to their benefit that they're simple games. They're not really, you know, meant to be super engaging. Yeah, this music is from the Batman and Robin, The Adventures of Batman and Robin Mega CD game. This is the virtual arcade, the Riddler stage. Yeah, it's got a bit of that 90s techno vibe to it for sure. What was I gonna say? Anyway, yeah. How about we stop stalling and start playing? I do want to give my regular disclaimer that I am playing this on PC, and trying to stream PC games is a fucking blow up. Audio levels and stuff like that, like it's a bit of a hassle, so apologies if things sound weird or look weird. If they do, please let me know, and I will at least have a chance of fixing it. So like audio levels could be kind of all over the place. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. So let's boot up the game. Let's pause the music and play. So I did try this before. It should work, but it might take a couple of seconds for the screen capture to like catch up. Okay, this doesn't look right. There we go. That's better. And sooner or later, I guess it should. Okay, it woke up. There we go. There we go. It's actually booting up. It's working. Who'd have thought? Amazing. Apropos of absolutely nothing, I just happened to... I got some stuff in the mail. Some Japanese games and stuff that we'll be checking out not tonight, but hopefully maybe tomorrow. But I also actually finally took a plunge on a brand new computer monitor. It's a 27-inch 1440p screen, which is going to be a bit of a step up. A little bigger than my current screen, which may present an issue. But I look forward to messing around with it. It's going to be really nice with a new... There's a lot of reasons why that's going to make stuff nicer, but I didn't want to spend hours hooking everything up and fucking around with it tonight because I really wanted to stream. But I might spend some time tomorrow, and pending my success with installing my new monitor, we'll see if I have time to stream. But it's exciting. I've been meaning to buy a new monitor for I don't know how long, and it's just... well, I finally took the plunge. I got a decent deal during Black Friday sale. So, yeah, I look forward to that. Audio seems okay. Obviously, the background music is like really low on the screen, so I think we'd have to jump into the game. Actually, let's just do that real quick. I'm just gonna hop in to the main game so we can like get a sense for the sound. Let's pick the animated Batman because it looks ridiculous, and we're not really playing anyway. There's all these like ambient background noise. Weird stuttering here, but... Oh yeah, I guess we should see if I remember how the controls work. I'm looking at the graph. Well, it's... Dude, it's like lagging like crazy, or it's like dropping frames. Well, the animated skins are, I think, like kind of awful because they don't fit in the style at all. How do I... There we go. His voice doesn't change to Kevin Conroy because his voice is always Kevin Conroy. He does the voice for Batman in these games, rather. Alright. Like, the skins are really a mixed bag, I think. Well, audio levels look okay, I guess. So I think we'll go like this. I mean, there's a bunch of animated series games, of course. Obviously, none too recent. But they're not... I mean, games kept coming out based on the series after the show ended. There's like a bunch of animated series games on like GBA and PS2, Xbox. Obviously, they're very different from what a new Batman game would be now. I would say, personally, there's enough, like, okay games and stuff based on that. None, maybe, that are truly excellent, but they're, like, alright. I'd be more interested in seeing, like... I don't know, something that hasn't been done. Like, I'm so kind of tired. Even though I like these games, I wouldn't be excited at all if there was, like, a fifth one. I'd be much more interested in seeing like a different take and a different sort of tone, different visual style. But I mean, I hear you. It's a good show. Has its fans. It's cool to see. I mean, I enjoy the fact that they put that kind of stuff in this game, even though I just think it does not work at all. This game has most of the voice cast from the animated series. I don't know off the top of my head specific actors who are different. The voice cast is a little different between some of the games in this series. I want to say, I could be wrong, but I think I can't remember. I know that there was some hubbub about Harley Quinn's voice, because I think the actress from the series did her voice. And I forget if they changed the actress for this game or if they changed it for the next game, but I think her voice changed. Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill do Batman and the Joker in all three of the Rocksteady games. I forget who did the voices in Arkham Origins, but they were basically some other people who had done Batman and Joker voices for some of the animated movies and stuff in more recent years. And I remember liking those voices just fine. I remember a lot of like hardcore nerds who were super upset that Arkham Origins had a different cast. I don't remember it being an issue at all, but I guess we'll see when we get to that game in, I don't know, fucking 4 months, if I feel differently. Anyway, yeah, so we beat the main game, and let's jump into Harley Quinn's Revenge. Alright, the timer's already kind of fucked. Well, I'll fix it after the cutscene.
I'm in. Any news, Barb?
No. He's been gone 2 days. I'm worried. You know what he's been like since...
I'll find him.
I hope you're right.
Harley Quinn's preparing for some kind of siege. What's she planning?
Find Batman and get the hell out of there, okay?
Don't worry, Barb. It's me, remember?
You sound just like him.
You left me to die. 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 You left me to...
Alright, we've got a badass over here.
Who the hell is this loser?
Alright. Let me just, 1 second. I saw for sure I set this, there we go. Let me maybe bump it up a tiny bit, and let's jump on back here. Yeah, so, spoiler alert, the main story ends with the Joker dying. And literally, like, the first thing we see in this game, like, Batgirl talking about, well, I guess she's Oracle, but... Oh, wow, that animation took forever. Like, oh, Batman's been all sad. He hasn't been the same since Joker died, because... Like, yeah, that's the... Like, it's funny, I think all of the Arkham games, like the main 3 games, especially, at least, like, they've all been fun and interesting, and they've done some pretty good stuff with storytelling, but they all kind of shit the bed at the end. I think the back half or back third of the first game, like, gets a little tedious. You know, it ends with the, like, ridiculous, like, stop motion clay monster giant Joker Titan beast, whatever. It's incredibly stupid. Arkham City, it's all about, like, Batman being super sad about the like, he spends his entire life fucking bending over backwards to save the Joker. Like, it's ridiculous, and it's really dumb. And then, like, it's all about the ending. It's all like, oh, it's so incredibly sad. Like, nothing matters except the Joker dying, and it's like, it's all this big old tribute. I don't know, it's absurd. And then here too, like, the first thing we see is like, oh man, Batman's been so sad about the Joker. Like, it's messed up. So, I really don't know anything at all about this story thing, except for the tiny bit of research I did to write up, like, the synopsis. So I guess we'll be playing as Robin.
I found the missing cops. Quinn's got them.
Any sign of Bruce?
Negative. I'm gonna keep looking. Harley's telling the cops she's got some sort of plan for them. They'll be safe for now.
Be careful.
And there's gonna be sections where we play as Batman during some kind of flashback thing.
He's been the same since... He won't even talk about Talia or Joker.
We'll help him once we find him. It's all we can do.
But yeah, like I guess I'd assumed for one reason or another that we'd be playing in basically the same map, but maybe it's all like linear stuff.
I don't think so.
I mean, I guess it makes sense that we're not in the same
No.
city map. It just, I don't know, I hadn't thought about it.
Remember that.
I'm trying to remember the controls here. So that's the crouch. Yeah, you can do like a running slide. Yep, there we go. Yeah, I think we'll get some occasional stuttering just as it's like loading in stuff. It seemed to be stuttering a lot more just as we jumped into the main game, so it's probably going to be fine.
Send you to an orphanage baked in pie? Is that funny? I use it pity.
Screw you.
What's with the camera? All right.
Talk to me like that. I've got what you call post-traumatic.
Oh yeah, you got a map, I guess. Yard. All right. Okay, well. Alright, so we can eventually gain access to this part of the map, I assume. Because I'm pretty sure that this right here, like this is out. Yeah, I guess these are the Arkham City walls? No, okay, no, that doesn't make sense, because, yeah, that's the entire map. Okay, then I guess this is just the region. Because I'm pretty sure that this right here, the steel mill, is like the southernmost tip, basically, of the area you can access in the main game. I don't think you, even like the exterior, I mean, I don't think it's available here, but I don't know.
Brought on by the violent death of a loved one.
If we go back to the main game to fuck around, I guess we'll find out.
She's probably still crying. She'd better get over the
Yeah,
boss
so what kind of
soon.
gadgets do we have?
She's turning into a liability.
Bullet shield,
And
snap
what?
flash.
You thinking of taking over?
That doesn't look like a
Maybe.
shuriken, but alright.
That I'd like to see.
You think I can't do it?
Oh, yeah? And what's your gimmick? Freeze is a crazy scientist who's got that freezer gun. Two-Face has got that bird thing going on. What's yours?
Kind of
I'll
like,
figure something out.
Yeah, right. Best you've got is that you killed all...
nice, I like how the second guy fell over too. Wow, they just got knocked over real easy. Alright, okay. Still more or less remembering how to do fighting. Robin Orang doesn't quite roll off the tongue, that's true. What's up, Sword Fam? Happy Friday. Room. Door locked. Right. I like that they're tutorializing this as if I didn't finish the main game. Of course, it's got to do the Robin symbol. Makes sense. I mean, it's a nice little touch, like... this is the first time they did... Well, I guess they did Catwoman, actually. Never mind. I was going to say the first time they had, like, a proper alternate playable character. Because I think even in the main game, they had, like, combat challenges where you can play as other characters, like Robin and Nightwing or whatever. But actually getting to...
At least she's got the back.
I wonder if you can... I'm sure you can, like... Actually, let me look that up. Wait, that's the map. Oh, okay. I guess I don't even have upgrades and stuff like that. That makes sense, because, yeah, it's a minor thing. I just wanted to look up, like, quick... that's not that.
How do we know she won't just kill all of
Okay,
us?
neither's that. I want to try to find the quick fire, because it doesn't say.
That is a good point.
Nope.
Plan together. Get the hell out of this place if things turn bad.
Turn back.
There we go.
Joker's dead, Harley's crazy, and we're still stuck in this hellhole? How much worse can things get?
Things always get worse.
Well, let's wrap this here, I guess. But yeah, like, obviously it makes sense that, you know, you have the main game, and then any content they make for other characters, it's going to be a little more limited in scope. They're not going to design, like, this whole upgrade tree for this character or whatever. That makes sense. So I think it's cool to see, like, the stuff that actually is... Oh, I see. Okay, hang on then, because... Wait, are they armed? No, okay. Probably... Let's find out. Probably if we blow down this wall, they're gonna, like, taunt me for being so far away. And then we sip kick over.
Well, look who it is.
Batman's little helper come to save the day.
That's pretty satisfying. But yeah, so like, however limited. Why did my combo break? All right. The stuff that they do with like different animations. I think I fucked that up, but it still worked. It's cool. Like it's nice to see these characters actually feel a little different, even if it's not like super major. And because I've played through the other games, like it's feels weird in a way to play this for the first time. I reckon there's really not going to be that much to it. Like, it's probably pretty short, but still neat, I guess. And I don't remember, but again, I would assume that as far as like the
Nothing.
as far as the like extra content for like the combats or challenges and stuff like that, there's stuff like that added with this DLC as well. Like, there's not just the this little campaign. Oh, okay, right. I'm not in love with this mechanic, if I'm being honest, but can I? No, wait, is that a? I'm trying to like adjust the camera, but no. Normally, I use a freeze grenade. Can I use this thing? Okay. Well, more or less. They're like bothering to tutorialize all these new gadgets, so. Still just gonna stare.
I don't know who you are, but you ain't coming any closer.
Well, what if I am, though?
Look out, Robin!
Okay, sure, why not? Incredibly elegant, you know, perfect. So that's a collectible thing, I assume.
Are you there? What's happening?
Let's pop it anyway. Wait, climb.
Hello?
Oh.
What's wrong with you people? Hello? Whoever you are, I know you're there. You hear me? I know you're
What the heck am I even going? This way, I guess, but does that mean that this is some sort of... Well, okay. I don't know what we're doing, but...
Hurry the hell up.
Just making sure it's done right.
Harley's overreacting.
He didn't see me. Also, can I collide with Robin? I guess I didn't think about
what
it.
if some other hero comes to save it?
I guess so. Ah. There we go. Whoa. Physics. What if they'll show something, if they'll announce a new game at Game Awards? Yeah, you know, I'm kind of looking forward to that. Like, the show itself, like you say, yeah, it's like, oh boy, it's... It is less obnoxious than some previous incarnations have been. I mean, they're better than the Spike TV shit was, so, you know, there is that, but, you know, yeah, that doesn't say an awful lot. Wait, is this electrical thing? It doesn't have an electric... Well, snap flash. Well, I doubt that's going to do anything. It's probably just like a flashbang thing. But yeah, I would never tune into the show to watch the show. But in recent years, they've had, I think, a fairly significant amount of like reveals and trailers and stuff, which is kind of fun. And I think, I mean, obviously, especially so with
this way. Welded the door shut.
With Sony not doing anything around the same time, because there used to be like a week in between the Game Awards and PSX. So the gap kind of left from PSX not being a thing anymore means there's even more like incentive it becomes an attractive place for companies to show off stuff, right? The thing is, it's a kind of an awkward time because presumably, if we at least are kind of making assumption based on the time frames last time new consoles were announced, we're not far off from Sony and Microsoft announcing new consoles. Like, Sony announced the PS4, unveiled the PS4 rather.
No way, man. That thing's dangerous. You saw what it did?
What? It's just a belt.
No, it's Batman's belt.
You're gonna die.
Alright, let's take down this guy. I don't want to take down the stun gun guy, but... Yeah, but so Sony announced, or unveiled rather, the PS4, and I want to say February or so of the... Oh, I missed it. I pressed too early. Of the same year that it came out. And we know that the new PlayStation and Xbox are coming out like holiday next year. Well, fuck that up, but... So if we can, you know, assume that we're going for something similar, it's not too far off. But the problem is, like, when it comes to new announcements before then, well, I mean, it's not like it's impossible for a company to announce a game that's going to be on PS5 before the PS5 is announced, but there's kind of a limit to how much they can show.
Tim, what's going on? Have you found him?
They announced in December, but didn't unveil the form factor. Yeah, I don't know exactly what the time frame was or what exactly was shown or announced, but like the first time they had like, this is the console, this is the OS, this is the controller, this is what it's like. The proper kind of like, you know, pricing and release date and like all that kind of stuff, I think was
Harley Quinn.
in early 2013
How
or
do you
whatever
guess?
year it was.
Her goons ambushed my guys and dragged them towards the steel mill. We can't get close.
Buff
I'll handle it.
Gordon.
You sure? You know she blames you, right? Could be a trap.
Fall back and stop anyone else getting hurt. I'll handle the rest.
In any case, like, I feel like I'm sure we have seen stuff, you know, games that have been shown, that will end up being PS5, or, you know, or probably more likely, you know, kind of cross-generation games. So it's not like we've never seen a game that will be a next-gen game. But if a game is announced at this point, I mean, this generation is kind of weird because it's
We need to talk about that.
it's not gonna be probably such a clean cut in terms of, you know, I think the line is gonna be blurred in one way or another between PS4 games and PS5 games, at least more so than in most previous console shifts. So it's, yeah, exactly, like the hardware is more similar. The whole idea of a kind of seamless transition from less to more powerful hardware, that idea is kind of already there. So like it seems likely, whether it's running off the same game disc or it's, you know, done some other way, that we're gonna have more than ever games are available on. Trying to remember the controls, not going well here. Games available on multiple, like, platforms. So a game being announced and then coming out on PS4 and PS5, nothing strange about that. But I feel like a game announced less than a year before the release, like if it's a big AAA game where you would expect kind of anywhere from 6 months to, you know, 2 or 3 years of marketing, anything being announced at this point, you would imagine being, like, you'd be surprised if there's a PS4 version. You know, I think with Rocksteady, for example, it is a foregone conclusion, given that it's been so long with no information, that if and when they announce something, it's obviously going to be a PS5 generation game. Doesn't mean that it can't also be for PS4, but it means probably that it's not coming out until after the PS5 launch. And if that is the case, will they show it? Will they announce it before? Like, I don't know. I feel like the Game Awards is going to be interesting because of that. Because I'd thought about these things previously. Like, there'd been some people... Oh, fuck me. Speculating based on some kind of a rumor or whatever that, like, oh, Capcom's gonna announce Street Fighter 6 for PS5 or whatever. And it's like, well, they're not gonna do a big unveiling of a PS5 game before the PS5 is even properly, like, announced. We know that it's coming, but, like, not a lot more than that. Like, a time frame, but no price. We have, you know, idea of technical specs, but nothing really concrete. And I don't know. That particular rumor I thought was kind of bullshit for several reasons, but that was one of them. But if the Game Awards, if we are to typically expect like a bunch of announcements, of course, not everything is like super big, AAA, whatever. I'm sure they could announce stuff that's like things that hasn't been seen, and it's coming out in March. You know, it's not like the current consoles are dead or whatever. There's still big stuff coming out. But yeah, like something on the level of Rocksteady, you know, their new title, whatever it is, I feel like would be kind of a flagship next-gen thing. So, yeah, I'm curious what that means. You know, obviously, they could release a CG trailer. If the game is a year away, you wouldn't be too shocked to not see any gameplay anyway, you know? And a CG trailer doesn't really matter. They don't even have to say platforms or a date or anything. It's just, you know... I mean, whatever it is, I would hope it's not Batman. But let's say, for the sake of argument, there's a CG trailer with, I don't know, fucking Wonder Woman and Green Lantern or whatever. TMNT, Judge Dredd, whatever the fuck people have wanted Rocksteady to make before. A CG trailer with Rocksteady's logo, that's, you know, that's interesting enough to at least get some idea what it is. So, that wouldn't, you know, they wouldn't have to really tip their hand if they're doing that. But I feel like that's, I don't know. I mean, I guess in times of generational shifts, things are a little different. But I also want to say that the trend has kind of been to move away a little bit from that and more to like these kind of shorter marketing cycles with kind of more gameplay stuff being shown earlier, or like not earlier, but not being strung along with CG trailers for 2 years before seeing gameplay for games. But, you know, who knows? Whatever, you know, whether it's at the Game Awards or at E3 or whenever, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what Rocksteady's doing next. Like, there's... You know, I moaned a lot, you know, complained about stuff that the direction, you know, kind of that this series has taken after the first game. But I still like the games all in all. Like, I feel like a sequel to Arkham Knight, whether in story or in kind of scope, in, like the game itself, I feel like it's the least exciting thing they could do. I would much rather see them go for something smaller to make it more interesting. Just a clean break from all this. But yeah, like I said, whatever we end up getting, I'm curious, because for all my minor complaints and grievances, I've never fully disliked any of these games. And I trust that they'll make something that I'll enjoy. Okay, sure. But I am definitely interested in seeing, like, the timing is such, again, like with the console shift, the generational shift, like, I feel like there is less on the horizon. Like, there are fewer kind of known quantities in games coming out. You know, there's stuff, but maybe there's less stuff than there would be at this time of year other years, because the stuff that's coming a year from now, to some extent, has not been announced yet, or shown, or whatever. At the same time, you know, there are games that are announced that I'm looking forward. I'd say probably, and this is, I don't know, maybe prompted by some conversations I had recently, but King of Fighters 15, I'm really looking forward to seeing that. Would that be shown at the Game Awards? Maybe. I don't know. They did announce a bunch of Sony stuff on, or SNK stuff at PSX. They've been at TGS, so like all kinds of these types of things. Like it's certainly not impossible. Yeah, I would say that the next Rocksteady game is another one of those, like, well, I don't know what it is, but it's something specific that I'm looking forward to. But of course, you know, there's it's a little silly to sit here and talk about, like, oh, what are you looking forward to being surprised by? Well, if I knew that, it wouldn't be much of a surprise. You know, there's obviously going to be stuff there you don't know about. It's just going to be fun to see what it is. Speaking of new Capcom announcements, though, I want to say there was something, I saw it on Twitter, some headline or whatever, that apparently some new Capcom game is going to be at, was it Jump Festa? Like some Japanese comic event or something. I'm literally just staring at the waypoint, by the way. Maybe I should pay attention and see where I'm going. There we go. I think it even said that it would be playable. And that's in like mid to late December. Like 20th something December, I think. I feel like if something is going to go from being unannounced to playable in a month, I'm not expecting anything too major. Which isn't to say that it's more or less exciting because it's smaller. Like, they're not going to announce, oh, Resident Evil 3 Remake, oh, it's playable in a week. I would be shocked if it's something like that. Oh, yeah. There we go. But is it like a, you know, re-release kind of a thing? Is it something, a smaller game of some sort? Who knows? Hey, this is Scarface. That's kind of neat. Just the timing and everything seems like it's not something necessarily to be super, you know, excited about. Like, I guess I wouldn't want to get my hopes up for anything, set myself up for disappointment. But, you know, if it's something cool, then sure, why not?
We don't need to do this. But that
So this guy's got armor, right? Yeah.
Do you realize how hard it is being a henchman? Listening to orders from...
That. Alright, it's kind of difficult to talk while doing this. Oh, he's got a shield, or armor. Right, that's how you do this. This guy. Lariat this guy. Bonk. There we go. Alright.
Get me down!
Self-destruct system. I'll have you know these explosions are completely non-lethal. He's fine. He's fine.
Come on! Get me down!
I'm trying. I want to batarang. Oh, I guess I can use the control panel. like a coward. Also, what's up? Happy Friday.
You're safe.
Am I glad to see you?
What happened? Where are the others?
We were ambushed. They dragged us outside the still mill and beat the crap out of us. These bastards dragged off the others and brought me here.
I'll find them. Wait here. Hide.
You okay? Don't want to talk? No problem. I'll just be waiting here.
Am I supposed to scan this area, or are we gonna get a little transition here?
You saved my life, man.
Yeah, okay, sure. What did it say? Ambushed outside. Okay, so I guess I gotta go outside. Is that the button? There we go. Nice. I mean, I guess it seems likely that if Capcom's gonna have something at a show in like, all right, well, we're not getting up there. In like mid to late December, that it doesn't seem unreasonable to think that maybe it's going to be announced at the Game Awards, and then playable 2 weeks later. You know, they're probably gonna announce, like, it's probably not gonna be announced at the show where it's gonna be playable. Or it could be, I guess, but I feel like, well, I mean, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. I guess it would be interesting to go back and see, like, what was at the Game Awards the last year and the year before that. Because I just remember it being like, well, there was, like, a bunch of stuff shown. I hate this area of the game, by the way, because I'm always fucking super confused about where to go. I don't know if I'm even heading to the right area, but... That's right, they did announce MK11. Yeah, like, stuff like that, it just fades so quickly. Like, it's... You remember it being, like, a thing. But specifically, if, like, I were to ask what was shown at whatever show, like... I wouldn't fucking have any idea.
Think about it. What if someone's listening in on one of them?
Remember. Alright, so you gotta do that. I mean, I guess it's not harder than, like, going to Wikipedia or whatever, but... Fuck's sake. Snap into place. Whoops. Okay, well. 2017 teaser for Sekiro. Like, I guess probably the last year.
We're talking about the missing cops. If they were here, they may have left some evidence.
The last year, I think, is the one that would presumably give the best indication of what to expect, given that
radio belonged to a cop. There may be evidence around here of where he was taken.
Tutorial voice
We should
Batman.
set up a crime scene.
Because yeah, I mean, previous to that, there would have been PSX.
I should follow it and see where they took him.
To kind of take some stuff away from the Game Awards, basically. But I don't know, and I look forward to seeing what's coming out of it. Gun dudes. Assuming I'm gonna, well, yeah, I can actually see the spots.
How cold does it have to be before some... It's the freaking bat!
Why did he fucking throw the batarang into the ground? Oh well, that worked out, I guess. I like that the guy just abandons the idea of using his gun. He's like, well, he made me drop it, let me just run into his fists. But I ain't complaining. That was convenient. Tony Wicker. Got some I will say that this area of the map is like my least favorite because it's like weirdly confusing and it's all these snipers from weird angles and shit. I don't much enjoy it.
Just off the cops and get the hell out of here. Batman! It's Batman!
Speaking of which, fuck's sake.
It's Batman! He's kicking their asses! Get it!
Who's talking? Some of the like physics animation where you bop them, they just go floating in the air. They're so funny. I gotta say, so far though, I like this music. It's interesting because if you were to ask me what the music in the Arkham games is like, I'd have nothing to say to you. I don't remember anything about the music, but I mean, this particular music right now seems generic enough. It's like kind of what they sound like. But during like the cutscenes and stuff, like the music seemed more, I don't know, less generic, ambient, moody, fake Danny Elfman Batman music. What's up, Hell's Angel? Happy Friday. But yeah, like I guess I'm like kind of drawing a blank otherwise in terms of like what I would be looking forward to, but definitely like as far as known quantities go, KOF 15 for sure is something I'm very, very excited to see. Because it's been known about for a long time. It was announced like it's some investors call, you know, boardroom, whatever, one of those kind of things. It didn't come out of like an announcement trailer, but in their like, you know, fiscal whatever projections, they said that KOF 15 is scheduled to be released in 2020. And that was in, like I said, like last year or early this year. And even from before then, like it, you know, there's going to be one eventually, right? That seems again like kind of a given. Wow, dude, that dude's like not even a tiny bit scared. Alright, let's take down this guy. So that was obviously not how it was meant to do that. So let's get the fuck out of here. Let's take the scenic route. Alright, oh, there's like 5 dudes up there. Alright.
Stay calm. We need to keep it. If you ask me, the bat didn't hurt you anywhere near enough.
Maybe get up here and see better vantage point. Little dots kind of disappear though. It's hard to. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, this whole area is just like stressful to navigate. It's not really fun. Can I please hit the balloon? Nope, he's gonna hit the guy. There we go. There's the balloon.
You ain't getting away from me. Grenade!
Well, let's. Who cares about these guys? Can I please analyze the thing? Well, whatever. We're going this way.
What are we doing in here? Guarding the Look out! The man!
Whoops. Ah. Bonk. There we go. Got him. Ugh.
Tell me how to get through that door, and don't waste time lying. I'll know.
Oh God! The Harley gave code cards to the
Oh,
people
boy.
she trusts most. You need 3 codes.
Set up
to
some
get
little
in.
fetch quests.
Please, I'll tell you where they are. Just don't hurt me.
I'll do my best.
Oh boy. All right. Well, we were gonna. Oh boy. I have to fly around this entire area, so we can't hack it. because we don't have the Harley Quinn frequency, I guess. Well, whatever. Well, let's go fly in.
Gordon wouldn't be dumb enough to let more of his cops get caught.
I mean, they're on the map, right? Kind of curious that they don't get marked on. Oh, I see him. Oh, they all have guns too. This fucking sucks.
Kill Harley to give us something warm to wear.
It's not exactly what I meant to do, but
That thug's got the code. I need to leave him until last, so that he tells me what I want to know.
oh, right.
Still here. Still freezing my ass off.
Boy. All right, this is gonna dodge that. Well,
What? Over here!
extremely graceful. There we go.
We just get this.
The code.
Well, we got it to work. We
get ready to
made it
hurt.
work. That was not pretty, but it worked.
Please, I don't want any trouble.
Too late.
That's pretty cool, though. You get a little context-sensitive animation
That's
of
one
him
code.
pushing him up against the
I
wall.
need 2.
All right, so just straight north and then east. Well, I guess we better take out that fucking sniper. Oh, like I said, I really don't like this area.
Still here. Still freezing my ass off.
I guess it's a little easier to come from this direction, at least. So how far... That's him right there. Alright, so the other snipers are, like, trained on him. So, yeah, we're gonna have to do something about that. Can I fucking snipe that balloon? Actually... Sure I can. There we go. So I guess there's a thing for like getting all of them, but I don't think I'm getting like XP and upgrades or anything here anyway. Well, I guess maybe I can't use upgrades, but it looks like I had like a bar above my health bar that I think is like an XP bar.
Those dumbass cops should never have gotten themselves caught. What happens now is their fault.
Oh, like takedown from up here, I guess. Well, let's... I don't want to, like, do some... Yeah, shit like that. Land right next to him and fuck it up, so... Let's just do that.
I don't care what they say.
He's, like, literally aiming at that guy. I would be a little nervous if I was that guy. Alright. Yeah, a lot easier from this direction. There we go.
Harley, off the pigs and let's get the hell out of here.
There we go. Got him.
Give me the code.
Yeah, no problem. See, I'm doing what
I like
you
the
want.
design of these guys, by the
There was
way.
never any doubt in my mind.
I mean, they're still disgustingly grimy and dirty, like everyone is in these games.
One more code.
But at least their
and I can
clothes
break
are,
Harley
like,
Quinn's security system.
whole. I feel like all the other types of thugs in these games have, like, completely ripped and torn and dirty clothes, and they just look kind of disgusting and also kind of weirdly interchangeable. Some guys, I guess, have, like, orange prison jumpsuits or whatever else. These have, like, kind of a specific look to them, and yeah, like I said, you know, they're still, like, pretty grimy,
This revenge kick she's on.
but less so than many of the other ones. I like this design. Right, so east. That's this way. I mean, I guess they gotta have some busy work in this to give it the open world feel. I don't know. That's not... Well, Could it be that orange guy? One who makes their clothes to get him off eBay? I don't know. I mean, I guess... I was going to say the idea is that, I guess, is that they look kind of handmade, so that's why they're all super rough, but I guess it doesn't really look like that either, but I don't know. I mean, it's... I mean, I guess you got a big enough criminal empire, you get some, you know, you get a seamstress, I don't know.
Arkham City. Same old crap hole.
So it should be like down here. That looks like a white-ish silhouette. So these are the guys that took you out before, but...
How come it's always so damn cold here?
Over here! Over here!
Boom. Seamstress sounds like a villain. I mean, sure, why not, you know? Bonk. I just love that. It's so goofy. But it's like more effective than kicking them.
I have to stay out here much longer.
Alright, so ground floor look like.
Worse.
Yep, that's them down there. So these guys don't have any guns, but surely there's like, these orange guys are all gun havers. Should probably take out, well, I don't know, maybe he's like behind a building. Maybe it'll be fine.
Wonder what happened to Freeze.
Let's take out this guy. Oh, shit, I was done.
The code. Now.
Please don't hurt me. Here it is.
So,
Night, night.
that was less painful than I thought it might be. Now, if only
That's all
I
the
could
codes.
figure out where I'm going now.
Next stop, Harley
Are these things? Oh, okay. Oh, boy.
Quinn.
Well, we're going south, southwest.
Bruce Wayne got out of this place alive.
So let's just hope for the best. Grapple where we can and hope we don't end up in the line of fire of some snipers. It's this way. Well, hey, we actually do have a waypoint. Yeah, the sooner I get out of this area, the better. I mean, the entire game, I guess, takes place in this sort of area, but once we're indoors... Although, I guess I get stuck even more there. But when we have giant floating arrows, I'm okay. Right, it's that little area down there. Right.
Anyone else who wants a patient, come and see me. The bat's here!
Okay, sure. That works out. I guess it'd be cool if there was a little bit of visual variety. I mean, I like that they have like this uniform, that they all look the same. I think that's cool. But like different body types and or face paint or something to make them look a little different. Hideaway. Hey, achievement unlocked. Okay. So this is where we went in with Robin, right? So we're probably gonna like catch up or whatever. Right when we're about to see something. Like now. We're swapping back probably. Okay, no, maybe we'll actually learn something here.
No one knows we're down here. Batman! It's Batman!
Arkham City is gonna be your grave.
Destroy the knife. I didn't mean to do that, but non-lethal explosion. Whoop. I can't seem to hit the guy I'm trying to hit, but alright. Alright. I didn't mean to do that. That works. I wanted to break the guy's shield. Headbutt this guy. This guy has a gun. Gladiator. Got him. Okay, cool. Okay, that musical transition, not perfectly seamless. Man, like, I keep... Like, everything kind of looks the same. We're flashing back, going back and forth in time. So we're going back through the same places, but from different directions, ostensibly with different goals and objectives. And I'm already, like, completely lost as to what's going on.
Rescue the cops.
Okay, we're rescuing cops, I guess. But can Batman get down here? Maybe not. And I think it's a testament, like, to how, I don't know, bad some of these things are. Like, I did say throughout the, you know, the main game that I thought the open world I wasn't a big fan of, but the linear segments were pretty good. They, like, when you're in one of these kind of indoor areas, the game is not that different from the first game, which I found generally more enjoyable. But some of this stuff, like the steel mill area, I think in general, like it's not. It's kind of poorly designed because it's so confusing, and it sucks. I think to have a game where it's like you feel like you want to have a map with waypoints telling you where to go and what to do. Like, it's not really what you want. Like, that's kind of the band-aid solution for not being able to communicate that in other ways, right? So what you'd really want is, like, the design to lead you where you're supposed to go. And I do think that the other indoor segments, like, are much better at doing that in general. But here, it's just like... I don't know, man. Giant robot Joker, sure. Are we going? Like, I'm like, again, I think the structure makes it even more confusing. If I was paying close attention, it's not like this is impossible to figure out, but it's more that I would want. It's kind of uneven. Like, the game makes, like, you get kind of used to a degree of not having to think too hard about what to do. You're kind of instructed. You can explore and mess around and you'll find stuff to do. But then suddenly you're put in this position where you can kind of mess around and it's... But you actually have to do something very specific to progress. And when you... Like, it becomes obvious how much the game really does, you know, how much feedback you do get to whether you're doing the right thing or not. Because when that feedback is missing, you feel completely lost. Like, and it's kind of weird. I mean, to be fair, I am kind of half paying attention, talking to chat. So I guess it's not completely fair to judge the game on its, you know, coherence when I'm not paying attention. But it's not always like this. It's only kind of sometimes like this. Oh, come on. Should have grabbed that. Oh, nothing up here, right? Yeah. Figures. I guess it just, I don't know, it kind of sucks that, you know, expanding on this game, the one area, the one part, the stuff they reuse for the main game is the part that I definitely like the least. Like, again, in terms of level design. Because I do think that the kind of steel mill area is one that stands out in its confusingness, I guess, is maybe overstating it a little bit, but it's the area where I had the most trouble kind of figuring out, or like more. Oh boy, do I even want to bother? Where I most frequently like had issues, I guess, like of being confused. Well, I'm crouching behind here. I might still. So I can't smoke pellet. I do have. Oh, it's like. Yeah, okay. I guess you can only drop a smoke pellet once in an encounter or something. Like, I'm not really trying to get away because I feel like I should do this over anyway, but. There we go.
This way! He went this way! On me! I got it!
The world's greatest detective. Alright. Alright, 2 guys left. I have, like, no health, but...
Man down! Man down!
Alright, we got the DDT. World's greatest detected. That's right. Well, we nailed it. Full health. Yeah. Where's the comp? Like down here? Right. Okay, cool. Well, I'm just glad we didn't have to do it all over.
I don't think so, Bad Brain. It's dead cop time.
Oh shit. Sad Harley Quinn.
Does it hurt? Too bad. Come on, boys.
I'm not a huge fan of her design in this game, and like in the DLC, they gave her like this goth makeover or whatever.
Hurry up, idiot.
I do like the fur trim on her gloves. I think that's different.
Come on. Don't piss off Harley.
Anyway, yeah, right. So Robin found the belt, which triggered this whole flashback. Right. It's coming back to me. So I guess he sensed Batman's right. So he just put Batman's belt in his belt.
What's
All right,
going
cool,
on?
sure.
Have you found him?
Kinda.
What does that mean?
Don't worry. I think I'm close. I'll let you know.
Why does he give such a cryptic answer? I mean, I guess Oracle is already like, well, I can't with these guys. She doesn't even follow up further. She's like, oh, well, fuck it. It's going to remain cryptic, and I'm just going to be here frustrated. Oh, well, that's just the way things are. I mean, the stuff that I like the best almost in the game, like the original game, is like the dialogue when you... Oracle, I don't think, shows up a lot. Here and there, there's some dialogue, like it's always fucking Oracle and Alfred, like, roasting Batman for being a... I don't know, for all kinds of things. That's kind of fun. I feel like she should maybe, maybe, talk back a little more. Anyway, I guess we're going to Shrine of Joker. Sure, why not? I guess the developers, they didn't get to fucking jerk off Joker enough in the main game, so had to find the excuse to build a Shrine of Joker level.
I guess. Then do it. March in that room, climb up and teach Batman a lesson. We'll watch. Hey, I'll help you get up there.
No, I can wait. Harley's got a plan. Don't want to get in the way.
Might notice me. Just fucking goes flying. I got an achievement, I guess.
This is the last thing you'll ever see. This is where you're gonna
What the?
die.
Oh, I fucked up the button combination. I like the sounds from the staff. Oh, come on, he stood up. Well, I guess combos don't matter if you were not really building XP to level up here anyway. I think the green bar is the XP bar, though. Maybe you get XP and it carries over to the main game. You just can't level up here. I don't know. Maybe that's the thing. Doesn't really matter. It just feels more satisfying when you manage to land the combos and shit, though. Oh boy.
I found him.
Thank God. Is he okay?
Quinn's got him trapped.
We'll get him out of it.
Harley's built some kind of monument to the Joker, and it's stopping me from getting to Batman. Looking at this place, she's crazier than we thought. I'm gonna search the area and try to work out how to save him.
Alright. Well, there's a control panel.
The security panel appears to control the statue. Batman will die in there if I don't find the key. I guess I should go find Harley Quinn and ask her for it.
Can you hear me down there?
Damn it. He's trapped in that thing. Looks like he's entered some sort of meditative state. I don't have much time. He's running out of air.
Alright, I guess she's talking in the background. Whatever.
That's why I get to watch it happen from my secret room. You'll never find us. You don't even know that there's a shipyard here, do you?
Harley, I think you may have told him.
Well, I also have a map that says shipyard, and we're in the shipyard. That wasn't that much of a surprise. Also, this is just on my map, so, I mean...
You should ignore what I said.
I don't know.
I was...
Found anything?
Nah,
Whatever.
it's just full of crap.
Oh, snap. Well, whatever. Fuck it. That's the thing, I guess. I tried to use the snap flash thing in combat. Didn't quite work out, but, I mean, it went fine. Alright, let's go underground. Of course. Of course. Maybe I wasn't supposed to use it in the combat encounter? There's no any, like, aim or anything. I can't actually place it. I probably have to aim it on a person. Well, I guess I'll just...
He's here! Robin's here!
Okay, sure. Crouch, please. Okay, there we go. I don't know if you could do that without getting detected. But that's our MO, I guess, so... Works out. This on... Wow, this seems weirdly specific. That's weird.
I see you're too scared to face me.
Oh, I probably shouldn't have detonated while I was standing right there. Not to worry, I'm a genius, so I'll sort this out. This is like an actual door. Could have just used the door, I guess. That also worked.
Your mother won't recognize you when I'm done.
No! What the? Well, I was done for like 1 second. Do the fucking brutality on this guy. Oh, come on. His, like, dizzy stars disappeared after I pressed the attack button. Like, this music is... I don't know, maybe it's a little overwrought, but it's still, I feel like more... It stands out more than I feel like the music in these games generally does, which is kind of cool. Always weirdly anticlimactic when you actually knock him out with a batarang, or a shuriken, I guess. Birdarang. feels kind of relieving in a way to not have to worry about a bunch of collectibles and secrets and shit. So you're not quite as incentivized to like keep doing this in every room you walk into. Which, nice in a way, but it would be more meaningful if it was in an area that I actually enjoyed exploring. Ugh, more of this stuff, huh? Alright, well, I guess we're...
Very upset. He'd probably kill you all. Or break your legs, rise open and make you eat a grenade. What the? Oh, who am I kidding? He'd do something much
completely undetected.
Mr. J, right? He always knew what to do.
Just go to the gargoyles. We'll be invisible, hopefully. Oh, she's over there. Well, I'm probably not... Oh, wait, she has a life bar. Is this the end of this campaign? Probably not. Well, might be, right? Who knows? I guess I can't do, like, vertical takedowns. Well, she's probably, like, gonna spawn new guys, right? Probably should find ways to attack her. Where's she? Oh, that is her. Okay. I could probably glide kick her, but she needs to be, like, walking underneath shit isn't gonna work. So that should work. Yeah, I can't, like, actually... Oh, okay. Can do this, I guess. But let's... I don't want to stick around waiting for her to wake up, because probably someone will shoot me. Okay, thankfully no one's actually, like, covering her.
We need to keep it together for fine. If we lose it, we're as good as dead, understand?
They're just walking around. She's, like, over here somewhere. This is a weird encounter. Alright, so she's, like, probably coming up here. Alright. Alright, she's, like, out. Are we done here? Or do I need to take the guys out? Okay. It looked like her eyes were open. Because it's just her, like, eyeshadow. Yep, okay. Are they gonna... I don't know. I would just assume, basically, that the dudes would, like, respawn. So we should... I should just take her out.
I see what you're doing. How are you gonna use it? Over here, I got
But maybe it's kind of the opposite.
smoke.
Smoke!
Smoke to get away. These bastards got everything.
Two guys left, maybe? Like, I guess there's some stuff... Oh, there's a hostage. Okay. Without being spotted. Alright, this is the real test. I'll wait for that guy to get out of there. Oh boy. That, like, jump cut in detective mode threw me for a loop. That was cool. I didn't mean to do that, but it was cool. Boy. Alright, let's Robocop it. That's non-lethal water, I guess. He'll be fine. That was cool, though. Like, when can you ever do that shit in these games? Just, like, knock him off a platform?
No! That's mine! Ugh, let me go!
Whatever you say.
Achievement unlocked. How's it hanging?
Down, bird brain!
I wonder if I can. Can I just, like, birdarang the rope? I guess it, like, because normally when you do, like, the inverted takedowns and stuff, you can do that.
I feel dizzy.
But I guess she would, like, die if you did that, so, yeah. Like, I can't throw it at her or anything either. No. Okay, yeah, Batman, right. He's over there somewhere. Is this where we came from? Boy. Why? I think this is where we came from. Oh, yeah, right. Shrine of Joker. Here we are. No, of course.
Look who it is.
Oh boy.
He's here. Robin's here.
Oh, one of these guys. Fuck, it's like such a clusterfuck. I can't see what's going on.
You're ours now, Robin.
Alright, take down. And this guy, I'll be dead. Oh, nice, cool, iframes. I'll take it. Thanks a lot. Nice, got the knife. Counter.
Your mother won't recognize you when I'm done. Won't take long. We'll be quick.
Nice. Nope. Fucking. Oh, I guess. Okay. I'm trying to do the disarm takedown to break the shield guys' shields. I don't seem to be able to do it. Maybe Robin just does not have that move. I guess I was just taking that for granted.
I'm gonna make you beg for mercy.
Okay, sure. Takedown. Iframes. Got him. Alright. So I've tried to batarang that guy like 4 times. Let's see if we can finally get it to work. Come on, will you charge at me already? Is that not what I'm supposed to do? Am I supposed to just punch him? Gotta do the ultra stun, okay. There we go. The beatdown didn't look very cool, but we got it. We got there eventually. Oh yeah, okay. I hope Batman's not dead. Then again, the Joker's dead. What does anything matter at this point?
What kept you?
Ever heard of thank you?
What happened to the cops?
I guess not.
You don't need to worry about them, Bat Brain. They'll be dead soon.
Oh, okay, yeah, hostages, whatever. Right, there's more to do.
Will you?
You save the cops. I'll handle the bombs.
I'll go do some fetch quests.
That, losers.
Use the bombs. Oh, boy. This isn't a very good campaign, is it? It's just a fucking bunch of busy work. So can I hack these? Can I hack the bomb? Okay, cool. I just...
The workings of this bomb look familiar. I need to shut it down, then examine it.
Dead bad. Alright. Yeah, the Titan dude's picking guys up. I think that was maybe even in the first game. It was definitely, like, it's not new. Mechanics seem fairly similar. Maybe if I punch it really hard.
The bombs have been built using explosives stolen from the GCPD lockup last week. Harley Quinn hasn't changed the detonation frequency. I'll calibrate the cowl to locate any other objects tuned into this frequency.
Alright, I do like... Oh, okay. So now we have a timer. I like the stuff like this, like the sewer part in the first game, whatever. Like when you don't have exactly like when you don't have the map, but there's like mechanics in place to actually account for that, basically. All right. Ooh, oh boy. How do I? No. Oh, how do I do the ice? There we go. Jesus Christ. There's a quick button for it, but I couldn't remember it in time. Snipers, of course, my favorite. Well, let's, okay. It's, this way. Nope. It's, way, I guess. Snipe, of course. Ah, get up. I'm gonna guess it's behind those steam valves. Yeah, he's, not fond of steam. Alright, oh, I'm gonna hack it. And like, yeah, this music too is like kind of cool. Yo, Tom Croner, what's up? Lord Deathman came back to life using secret yoga tricks.
But I resurrected myself with the strength of righteousness.
Where the fuck are we going? Thank you very, very much, Tom Croner. That's highly appreciated. I guess I gotta get on the fucking text-to-speech maximum meme train. My pro streamer game is lagging behind. Whoops. Oh, okay, sure. Let's blow that up. Something exploded, not the propane tank, which I was aiming for and thought would explode, but sure. Hey! Little context-sensitive wall jump animation. That's pretty sick. What the fuck just happened there? Okay, sure. We'll just do this then. Sometimes, I guess when you're like wedged up into a corner, it's not at its best. Sometimes these things are a little jerky. Is it this? It's probably... Okay, so now this is where we need this thing. I see. I tried to do this when we were in the flashback, but it wasn't the time. So we're going to fly this over here so that we can explosive gel this. So that was the point of this little room right here. And hey, what do you know? Now there's a giant bomb here. Joker forever. Batman manga, quite the trip. Okay, excellent master disarming technique.
Pretty pleased with yourself, Bat Brain. Well, don't. It's not over. You can't stop me. I won't let you. I've got a surprise for you. Something that would make my Joker proud. I'm here with him now. You man enough to come find us?
Well, it's not like I've got anything fucking better to do, right? Yeah, so I guess this is the boss coming up. Or are we gonna swap over to Robin to like do his part also, because he was like saving cops or whatever? Batman manga, I'm curious if that's the same, because I own a piece of let's see. There we go. Double tap the right trigger. I want to say it's by Kia Asamiya, who
What? Did you think it was gonna
He did some X-Men stuff, I know. He's done some, like, American comic stuff. Oh, boy. But I have a Batman book that he did called, Child of Dreams, I think? Okay, I'm getting massive... Like, the game's just frozen. Cool! Rendering thread... What the fuck? Okay. The game just crashed. Okay, cool. Well, let's pause the timer. It's older. Okay, same guy who did 8. Yeah, I mean it sounds older, and I didn't remember anything about Resurrection using secret yoga tricks, but I haven't read it in like 10 years. I couldn't tell you what the plot of that book was. I don't remember it, but it's the one Batman manga I happen to know about off the top of my head. All the other rights of the Bat good people. So he had to make his own villains, like Lord Deathman and Dr. Gorilla. Hell's Angel, I'm playing the Steam version on PC. I just got some weird, like, rendering error message, something popping up, and then it just crashed. Well, this is kind of a natural breakpoint, so I might as well take this opportunity to go on a quick bathroom break and whatnot. So I'll be back in a minute, and I guess we'll wrap up Harley Quinn's Revenge. So yeah, I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. I have returned. D, what's up, man? Happy late Thanksgiving, right? To those of you celebrating. That's right. That's right. Okay. So, well, let's get back into it. Let's boot up the game and hope that it doesn't crash again. That's a first. And yeah, Professor Gorilla. Yeah, let's, you know, put some respect on that ape's name. Right. I mean, it's probably safe to assume that it's like auto-saving all the time, right? Should not have like lost any progress or anything. Pursue mission from the last checkpoint. Sounds good to me. Oh, okay. That's weird. Why did we not get this choice when we started it, but we're getting the choice now? It's weird. So we have the Robin skin, we have animated Robin and Red Robin. Let's go with Red Robin. Why not? I guess, yeah. Well, we're probably seeing Robin in like a cutscene. We don't get to pick a skin for Batman, though. Oh well. So it's, yeah, it's like her taunting us, and then we're fighting guys.
Did you think it was gonna be that easy? Well, think again, loser!
Oh yeah, right. Guys, we're fighting robots. Hopefully it's not something with the robots that are just breaking everything and making the game crash. That's pretty cute. I mean, I can only assume that that is a reference to Impossible Mission. Unless, of course, that was a reference to something else. I guess I wouldn't really know. Whoops. Alright, luckily Harley's sniping isn't quite as tough to avoid. Kind of interesting that these guys all of a sudden don't have any indicators. I mean, they obviously telegraphed their attacks pretty clearly. But it provides a nice little twist. And I guess it can be like justified with, I don't know, Batman's bat sense doesn't work on robots. It only works on humans. I don't know. Oh, I got hit. Yeah, probably frying these guys seems like it would be pretty effective. Alright, well, it didn't crash. Sound mixing seems a little whack, but...
If Mr. J can see you now, just
that-
give up now, you loser!
It's kind of cute. I mean, they look a little goofy, but... I mean, I like the idea. Like, it's using the mechanics, but in kind of a unique little situation. So he just started pressing buttons, assuming that one of them was like a disarm button? Who am I to question Batman? Also, what the fuck? I thought I enabled the timer. Oh, well. Gordon's like...
I don't look grimy enough. I better run into this explosion and get some soot on my face.
You should have left me to die. Then I could have been back together with Mr. J.
Quiet. Where's Robin? I thought he was with you.
Yeah, I really don't like how Gordon looks in these games. It's got like a weirdly shaped head, and it's like strangely super buff, and
What have you done?
it's got like this fucking deep fried face. I don't know what's going on. Fucking sound effect.
Oh, did you miss
Sorry
me?
about that, by the way. It's
Where are the
probably loud.
They're
Cops?
safe.
Oh, I mean, they're right here.
I'm done here. Hey, kid. Is he all right?
Yeah, sure.
It's a bit.
course he is.
Yeah. Also, what's up with Robin's like cone head hood? Looks kind of silly. Okay, yeah, there we go. I'll let the timer run because we didn't have it running for a minute or two. Yeah, like everyone's face looks weird. Like Harley's face looks super weird. Like I think, yeah, I don't like the way the characters look in these games. Really, like again, the only game in the series that I actually like the character design in, essentially, is Origins, the one that Rocksteady didn't make. Everything is dirty and grimy and disgusting looking, like all the thugs. And there's something about the design of the thugs overall that I think is like everything is this kind of even gray. Even if the design is kind of like more detailed, it's not like completely flat. The way like they have this like super muscular buff build with a bunch of like maybe it's tattoos, some of them have gnarly scars, otherwise there's just like veins and shit. And they have these like dirty wraps around their arms, and then the clothes are all dirty and it's torn. Like there is like kind of a texture and sort of detail to everything, but it's like weirdly uniform. So that the enemies are just like, I couldn't for the life of me draw like any of the enemy characters in these games from memory. The villains, yeah, sure, they have like at least kind of superhero, super villain costumes or designs to them, but like the thugs are so incredibly like again the Harley Quinn thugs look kind of cool. They have like a distinctive design and costume to them, even though I'm not in love with how it's like, you know, it's still dirty and grimy and weird, but everyone else like I don't know. And yeah, everyone looks kind of gross. Everyone is like weirdly, a lot of characters are like weirdly buff in a sometimes kind of a superhero-y, comic booky way that works, but then it kind of clashes with the aesthetic. I don't know. Like I said, I think everyone is just kind of disgusting and off-putting to look at. And I don't think that was the case really in Origins. I think overall the characters were just nicer to look at. And yeah, I think it's like there's a high level of detail, and I think the environments generally look really pretty good. It's like really impressive how much detail they cram into everything, and like you could take a screenshot kind of anywhere in the city and it looks well done, and there is definitely some character to the city and to like the architecture, and like there's good stuff there. But it's, you know, it still has the overall really grimy and just not. It's unpleasant. It's unpleasant. And I would say overall, I've always preferred kind of a clean-cut, gritty aesthetic, so to speak, over a kind of grimy, gritty, like just in very general terms in most things. Not to say that each thing doesn't have its place, but, you know, especially after a couple of games, this, like, Arkham Knight especially, it's so like everything has this noisy texture to it too. There's this rain and grime and dirt, and like, yes, it's impressive how much they squeeze in, but it's still not very nice to look at. So I think there are definitely blander looking, you know, Unreal Engine poster child games, but it's it's kind of typical too. This doesn't really stand out. It's still leaning heavily in that direction. Well, I guess we can stop the timer there. Given Arc System Works shown it's possible, I'd like to see a Batman game with the animated series look. I mean, yeah, it's we're joking, and yeah, SDS also called it kind of the meme. Obviously, well, I shouldn't say obviously because it isn't obvious to a lot of people, but evidently you can do a lot of different things. Like, there is kind of this typical look, the Unreal Engine look, yes, but it's not like Unreal or Unity or CryEngine or Lumberyard or whatever other engine can't be, you know, you can, the engine doesn't determine how things look. So, you know, without further comparisons, absolutely what Atomic Runner says, like, regardless of that aspect, there, you know, clearly you can do fake 2D animation with 3D, look really, really, really nice. And just like that, I mean, doing something like that, again, if we're, for the sake of argument, pretending that, well, shit, I just realized I was going to say that Rocksteady is making another Batman game, which I think is pretty clear that they will not. But it completely slipped my mind that Warner Brothers did essentially announce that WB Montreal are working on a new Batman game. So that's probably going to be at the Game Awards, right? Because that was teased like a month ago, 2 months ago. So I would expect that to show up. I would not be surprised, at least, to see that show up at the Game Awards. But in any case, if we pretend, for the sake of argument, that Rocksteady is making a new Batman game, although the animated series setting is, like, I would, divorced from my expectations and experience with Rocksteady in particular, I would still rather have something original than another take on something that we've already seen. But I would much, much, much rather see something that looks like the animated series than something that looks like this. And yeah, Jump Force is the last thing I would want. I mean, that's what you get. I mean, that's basically this, right? When you take, like, the design, the animated series design, and you try to, like, this is almost like one of the less egregious models, even. Like, this still kind of looks alright. Although, I mean, again, if you were to, the textured bodysuit just looks strange to me, though. If you wanted to make, let's say, you know, Arkham animated, you wouldn't want it to look like this. You wouldn't want this kind of pseudo-realistic sheen on everything. You'd still want it to actually look animated. Or I would, anyway. But, like, Batman, I think, looks very strange. Like, the eyes just don't work in 3D, I think. See little details in his nose? Like, oh, boy, this just looks awful. Yeah, I mean, yes, this is, we can pretend this doesn't exist. Jump Force is the game. And it's funny, too, because there are a few characters. I remember there was a trailer, was it Ryo Saiba and, because Kenshiro, he's in that game, too, right? I want to say that those two guys were announced, like, around the same time, and they looked kind of alright. Because it's like, whoa, mouse control. I didn't mean to do that. Hang on, I just forgot to do something. Let's get some jams going. Sorry, I just remembered I need to do something. I think my alerts are, like, not set up proper. So let me just get that sorted. I'll be back to reading chat in like 10 seconds. Fuck's sake. No, I don't need ads. How do we do that? And there we go. I guess we're gonna get, well, okay, I'll pause the music because we'll get double sound, I think. I tried to pause the music. There we go. God, I'm just not doing very well at streaming today, am I? Yeah, so, like, I mean, some characters in that game look a little more okay than others, just based on them being a recreation of a illustrative style that has more detail to it. But someone, you know, Dragon Ball characters or 90% of the characters in that game are gonna look fucking terrible, and I hate that look. So yeah, like whether it would be the animated series, whether it would be something original, whether it would be based on just a generic, or not generic, but just in general a comic book kind of vibe. Oh hey, yeah, I think I killed the chat on the stream, but probably if people start chatting, it'll pop back up. I hope so anyway. But I can read chat, so I didn't lose that at least. Like, a comic booky look to it with like, I don't know, just something, something that is a departure from this kind of quote unquote realistic AAA kind of look. It would be awesome, I think. So, but again, I wouldn't want another Batman game from Rocksteady, really. I am excited about a new Batman game from WB Montreal because Origins is like, I think it's kind of underrated. I like that game pretty, you know, I liked it a lot more than most people did for sure. And I definitely did not like Arkham. I mean, I enjoyed Arkham Knight, but I have a lot more complaints with that game than any of the other games in the series. And given how given how like every new installment from Rocksteady has kind of brought new stuff that I didn't like, you know, how the expansion of the scope in itself was something that brought with it things that I didn't like. I don't want to see, I'm not that interested in Rocksteady's like whatever next step of that sort of linear evolution would be. I'd rather see them just do something else. But I'm curious if the WB Batman game is going to be a lot like Arkham Knight, or if it's kind of doing something different. Because presumably they've worked on that for a good couple of years now. I mean, it was summer 15, I think, that Arkham Knight came out. Or like fall. I don't know, it came out in 2015, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, it's been a while. But yeah, like, overall, comic book games with a comic book aesthetic is not something we've really been blessed with. Because, like the Avengers game that's coming out, I've kind of ranted about that a good amount too. I hate the character designs in that game, really. Like, I'm sure it might have some like comic book inspired alternate skins and stuff. Like, essentially, it looks like that game is going to be kind of a Destiny-esque kind of grindy loot game, I guess. So I'm sure they're going to have a bunch of skins and stuff, and I hope there's, you know, stuff to make the characters look cooler. But even so, it's not a matter of costume design. It's just art direction in general. Like, it's the same thing here. I much prefer playing this game with a like comic booky bat suit, but it doesn't change the overall aesthetic of the game. I can use it to mitigate some of what I don't like about the design, but it doesn't transform the overall look into something I really like. I mean, it's a little bit unclear what exactly Avengers is going to be like, but some sort of a live game. Like, it has, from my understanding, there is a single player story that is basically well, I don't know how to describe it, but like kind of your typical third person action single player thing with like you swap between characters and whatever else. And then there's the online multiplayer, which is more I don't know, quest based. You play if it's 4 or 5 players, and you do like missions. I don't know, like that's what I've heard about it, at least. I kind of hate the way it looks, or at least I hated it when I first saw it. Seeing some more like in-game footage of it, I think it's grown on me a little bit. It's something similar to, we talked previously again about Devil May Cry 5, how I wasn't a fan of them going like full ultra realistic in the look of the characters. But when you see the game in motion, it still moves and behaves like old DMC. So, like, that feeling of the characters looking a little more bland and boring doesn't apply really to the game in action. And I felt maybe a little bit like that with the Avengers 2. I don't like the costume designs. I don't like the fact that they're going for a movie knockoff kind of realistic look for it. But at least seeing it in action looks pretty alright. So I'm like looking forward to finding out more, and I'm curious to try it. I will probably buy it when it comes out, but it's a bit of a stretch to say I'm excited for it. But if it had looked cool, I'd be really excited for it, because I think, you know, I don't have a strong opinion on what the game is, because I don't really know what the game is. All I can really judge is the look, and I don't love the look. You know, looking at... And it's interesting with Marvel in particular, because they've done a bunch of mobile games that I think look fucking awesome. A lot of the characters, they've done these, like, online, or mobile sort of fighting games. This is a good example of stylization, by the way. This looks so strange. I don't never like this design a lot to begin with, but it looks 5 times stranger when it's, like, this realistic. So weird. Well, I guess realistic is the wrong word for it, but when it's like this detailed, I don't know, it falls apart a little bit. There's like Marvel, what is it, Contest of Champions. There's, I forget the name of the Future Fight. There's like a whole bunch of them. Some of them are like more straight up fighting game like, and some are like, I don't know, kind of MMO, Diablo like, or whatever. I don't know them super well, but if you look at characters in those games, like, even they're kind of like the opposite. They don't exactly look like full-on hand-drawn comic style, but they look generally much more like sort of late-era PS1 stuff with like painted textures. And when they do movie crossovers, they have the characters look a little more like the actors, like the movie costumes, but they're still kind of bright and colorful and still look fun and cool. I feel like this game and the Avengers and others, they kind of go the opposite route of looking gray and bland and boring and real. And then, you know, whenever they do kind of this tie-in comic-based costume, it's a little bit, all right, we're that's the basis, but we're still kind of leaning it more towards this kind of realistic depiction, which to me just does not make it any cooler. So yeah, like MVC3 was brought up. I love the way that game looks. I think it looks phenomenal. And I mean, yeah, you can just fucking compare MVC3 and MVC Infinite. That game looks like dog shit. I hate the way that game looks. There's like there are bits and pieces that look all right in Infinite, but it's like the animation is still good. The VFX are still good, but like the presentation, the character designs, the like kind of realistic rendering, the complete trash music. Like on Marvel's or Disney's or whoever's insistence, they replaced all of the Marvel character themes with like super generic orchestral score. And I hate that game so much. Not because the game itself, I mean, I don't like the game, but for being such a departure in the complete wrong direction artistically. Like it's the presentation sucks, and everything that was exciting about Marvel 3 that's unrelated to gameplay. Like, the roster in MVC3 was super exciting because it had a lot of weird left field picks and, like, fan-favorite characters and characters who hadn't really been in those types of games before but became sort of classics in their own right. And Marvel Infinite's just, like, the same roster but half the size, and everyone looks more boring, and I don't know, there was, like, 2 new characters or something. They're, like, Ultron, because I know they had DLC, like Black Widow, I think was DLC. Maybe Black Widow, I don't know, because they had the Winter Soldier, who was new, but like otherwise it was, yeah, I don't know. Monster Hunter, like I feel like most of the new characters, which weren't that many, they were all like relegated to DLC. Yeah, Black Panther, but Venom was just a returning character from. He wasn't in 3, but he was in 2. And like Jeddah. I guess is new to the Marvels or like the Versus series because he was not in MVC2 either. Yeah, it's so weird. Yeah, because they had like Ultron Sigma, who was the boss, and Ultron was in the game, but Sigma was DLC. Like it was everything about that game was so weirdly handled, and then obviously they had plans for stuff that just didn't come to fruition because the game was dead on arrival. Very disappointing. But yeah, let's not dwell on that. That's just disappointing. It's just sad. But yeah, like I just want comic book stuff to be. I mean, same with the movies. Like I enjoy the Marvel movies quite a lot. DC movies not so much, but the ones I've seen anyway. But even I like the Marvel movies and I enjoy how comic booky they are. But I also like it. It still bugs me. I think a lot of the costume designs in those movies, like, it's fine. It's rarely bad. Some of them are, but it's generally like pretty decent. But I still wish a lot of the time that it would lean in even more towards the comic booky look. It's, I don't know. Like that's one thing I guess. Like the Snyder DC, like the Batman, Superman, Justice League stuff. Like the movies are trash, but and it's bullshit that Superman and Batman aren't wearing Speedos, and that I'll never defend that. But at least they have like proper superhero tights, and it looks good. But like almost no one in the Marvel movies wear proper superhero costumes, and it irks me. And it's not that the movies are particularly egregious about it. It's just that it's even then, even when these movies are the fucking biggest blockbusters in the world, even then, there is an element of it feeling just a tiny bit embarrassed about its source material and having this idea of, well, in the comics, it was like this and this and that, but this is a movie. This is serious. We can't, Captain America can't wear tights. That would be ridiculous. And it's like, no, it'd be cool. And that annoys me a little bit. And I mean, it's even kind of leaking into these other things too. It's the same with the games. It's like, all right, this is what the comics look like, but nah, we're gonna do this in AAA video game, whatever. It's gonna be realistic. It's got to be gritty. It's got to have this and this and that. And man, I just wish it had the confidence to just be bright and colorful and not be embarrassed about itself. Anyway, so I mean, although I guess it should be noted that even in the comics themselves, when I say they look like such and such in the comics, because of the success of the movies, to a large degree, the Marvel comics at least, like they kind of look more like the movies now too. A lot of the costumes that like that annoyed me so much when people were saying that, like Marvel versus Capcom Infinite, for example, people were saying like, oh, it's just the movie version of the Marvel characters. It's like, no, it's not. It's the comic version. It's just that the comic versions look a little closer to the movie versions than they used to, which it's annoying in its own right. I feel like they no longer consider them comic book heroes, but rather they're Marvel Cinematic Universe heroes. True to an extent. I mean, of course, the movies rake in a hell of a lot more money than the comics do. But it's not really about that, I guess. It's more just, I don't know. But you'll still see, like, I don't know, fucking kids' backpacks with a very comic booky looking Spider-Man on it. Spider-Man, of course, I guess, being a character who has had less of a departure historically, like through every version, Spider-Man has never been that different on screen compared to the comic. But even so, it's. I mean, Raimi's Spider-Man, I think, I love those movies, at least when I last saw them. It was cool to see Spider-Man in those movies. The way the suit looked, I didn't dislike it, but it did annoy me a little bit when they had like the triangular islands that were kind of chromy. Amazing Spider-Man 2, which is like by far the worst Spider-Man movie, it's like ultra trash. It's complete garbage. But at least the Spider-Man costume in that movie looks fucking perfect. But it's, I don't know. I'm just ranting with no coherent point to make anyway. Isn't there a new Batman movie coming? Well, yeah, Matt Reeves is making a movie called The Batman, which was originally supposed to be starring and directed by Ben Affleck, but he left. So DC's / WB's movie plans seem to kind of change. I don't think it's... I don't know exactly if it's accurate to call it a reboot. It was absolutely intended to be part of the same continuity as the Snyder movies at one point or another. But all of that is kind of up in the air. And honestly, you know, I like the DC or the Marvel stuff, and it's fun that they have this continuity going. But I also think it's like, I'm not that hung up on continuity. I think it's like, I kind of prefer the idea of just... there's a point where that starts becoming more limiting, you know. So I'm more than happy to have... I mean, it's like whenever they put out an animated Batman movie, it's not a reboot. It's not like, oh, this other shit doesn't count, but it's just another version. It's just another thing. Just like there's this Batman and there's comics Batman. There's a lot of different comics Batmans. There's other movies, animated movies, TV shows, and whatever, and they can all coexist. So I'm sure if you release a new Batman film every 2 years and none of them, you know, they all have their own continuities, it might get a little confusing. But I don't mind that idea at all, really. I mean, I'd rather have something standalone than something that tries to fucking fit in with the Snyder movies anyway. But yeah, I'm curious to see what that's going to be. What time is it? 9:10. Well, we're done with Harley Quinn's Revenge. But why don't we just mess around with some side mission stuff? Why don't we? I have some other stuff that I thought I might mess around with a little bit on stream here, but let's see if we can do some post-game nonsense and see a few more cameos or interesting little things. I'm gonna bring up my little FAQ stuff here on my tablet, and we'll just run around and do a little side mission stuff. Because why not? Once we're done with this, we're pretty much saying goodbye to Arkham City. So, well, why don't we go with the Batman in suit? This was added with the Harley Quinn DLC, so... Right, so Deadshot is one of the side mission quest lines. So I might have had that activated as my current waypoint. So I have them on my other screen here on map, or a bunch of different maps rather, with stuff. So I'm gonna try to kind of just get to some of that in order. Oh boy. Having all these sniper dudes around is not making traversal more enjoyable. But oh well. At least I don't think we really have to do anything in the steel mill area anymore. We're free of that. Alright, there's a Riddler hostage here. Rescue the hostage from the second Riddler room. I'm not super interested in that shit though. But we're literally right here. Well, let's check it out. If we can figure it out, that is. There's like a door here. Well, it's a window, I guess. Like, this isn't explosive. Oh, okay. I see. It's just a hidden button panel. Or it's... Nope. We're just kicking it down. There is this side mission with the... Mr. Freeze gadgets that I haven't done. So there might be some of these that I literally cannot do without getting some stuff. But let's see what this is all about.
Help me! All you need to do is keep your eyes on the prize.
Oh yeah, he's like,
Keep your eyes open, Dark Knight.
yeah, he's cheating, right?
Take your pick, Batman. Shall we see if you were right? What? No. How did you do that?
That's pretty clever.
Batman, you've got to save me.
I didn't really like. Well, I guess it's my instinct just to enable Batman vision, but like if you just, it might not have been immediately apparent, but if you don't, if you just watch what happens, like yeah, you get tricked.
You're safe now, Officer North.
Thank you. I thought I was gonna die back there.
Riddler gave you a code, right?
Yeah, it's 860120. He said something about it helping you.
It will. Stay here.
Oh yeah, right. We gotta like do this. Hey, we got another achievement, so that was worth it, I guess. What was it? 861. Okay, it repeats it on screen. That's very kind. So I'm assuming that's 860 is gonna be the vertical or the horizontal. There we go.
Is someone trying to locate a hostage before they found enough of my secrets? I hope not. There's no way you could have solved that one, Batman. Even I couldn't. You must have cheated.
I cheated. All right, Riddler, whatever you say. I guess another thing that has me a little like on edge about this is like I know that if you just like literally run through, just grind out like the side content stuff one after the other, like it tends to get pretty repetitive and not that interesting. But I'm not really too concerned about the specifics of the like what we're doing. It's more about the rewards. Like some of them, by the time you get to the end, is it down here? You know, getting to see certain characters and interact and like certain scenes that play out. That's kind of the reward. And you might have to go through a little bit of repetitive stuff to get there. So I'm looking at a map, just kind of seeing a position, but I'm not exactly sure. This is for one of the Azrael things. It's possible that it's not here yet. I might have to do these in a certain order. The image I'm looking at doesn't really say. Maybe we'll come back to this. Let me just double check so it's not something up here. I would have thought, because we stumbled on the first one. It was like on the Ferris wheel. It's down by the harbor or whatever. Doesn't look like there's going to be anything here, really. Oh yeah, there used to be fucking helicopters everywhere. I'm glad those are gone. All right, screw it. Let's well, there's there's one kind of nearby. It's here. So let's just like if it's obvious that there is something there, check it out. Otherwise, I might just ignore them. That's the other side quest. I think guides I have here are a little more obvious in terms of like order. I can't remember if I want to say that there's like a mark. I'm pretty much standing right on it, and I guess this would be a place to do it. I think there's like a mark that's even visible to the naked eye, but then you use the like this thing to like expose it or whatever. Could be something like inside here, I guess. That seems weird, but we might as well hack this and see. Oh, probably just like a trophy in there, but since we're halfway doing this, I guess we're doing this. Hacking the Riddler Matrix. Yeah, there we go. Sure, why not? Okay, well, There's just like 4 or 5 of these spots, so we might as well check them out. And we're heading westward anyway. Oh, that's north. I'm good at directions. Because we have some other side missions that I want to check out, which are kind of around that same area. It's here, basically. Let me just double check the other map. Okay, so this... Yeah, okay, we're actually basically going right here first to do that other thing. Let's just do that. We're not going to switch to Catwoman, but it's like right next to switch point. I guess there's Catwoman trophies and shit to get to, but whatever. The ringing phone is the Mr. Zass missions. I'm not terribly interested in those. I didn't really mean to do that, but that's fine. Although, what I'm looking for is going to be down there. But I want to interrogate that dude, so...
I can hurt you more than you can imagine. Tell me about Riddler.
Riddler? Okay.
I guess this wasn't at all what we were looking for, but...
Don't hurt me!
I can't guarantee that.
Sure, I'll take it. Where the heck are we on the map? I am fucking exactly here. Or maybe this is the one that we actually did get, because this looks somewhat familiar. Let me look at the side mission progress tracker thing. Side missions, there we go. It's not the one we found. Man, this guide is like fucking super confusing. Okay. 2, 3, 4. It looks like there's about 2 or 3 number 1s on my map, so... Okay, well... This side mission hunting is sure going fucking swimmingly, isn't it? But it would have to be here. Surely it wouldn't be up on the rooftop or something, because we're gonna find like someone who's assaulted or murdered or whatever. Well, I mean, I guess it's not like it's impossible to leave a dead body on a roof, but the alley seems like a natural place for it. Let's, well, it's definitely not over here. Let's go back here and see if we can find that other thing. I mean, if we fuck up and I just literally cannot achieve anything that I'm setting out to do, then we might just call this whole thing off. But for now, I want to at least try. Fuck's sake. All right. Oh, fucking snipers and shit. All right, so... Looks like... No, wait. Not here either. There's... If this... Okay, there's one last check after this one. For this particular... Oh yeah, here's the Mad Hatter thing. We did that. Map is... I mean, it's fucking right here. Assuming it's on the ground, or I mean, like on a horizontal surface, unless it's like on a wall. Well, there's one more area where it could be, if we're assuming we have to do them in order. And I assume that is the case, because we've now checked 3 exact spots on the map with just fucking nothing. Okay, so we're gonna go a little further south and see if we can find the next spot for either of these 2 side quests. Currently making 0% progress. Basically right down there.
Remember, you see weird-ass plants around here. You know who found poison ivy, which is
Well, we're picking up Riddler trophies, but that's not what we're here for. God damn, this...
It's Batman!
Alright. Just doing push-ups. Yeah, like, these dudes look so fucking... bland.
You're gonna die tonight!
Oh, for fuck's sake. I tried to counter, but he'd already missed me. Alright, let's just... I just want to take out some frustrations. Well, there's a Riddler trophy over there. Might as well grab that. Okay. We're unlocking shit here. Okay, so it might be around... Okay, let's go over here. Didn't quite check. The map is very low resolution, so it's a little hard to actually make out. Could very well be inside here, because it's definitely in like a little alley somewhere. I'm pretty sure, or it seems like that would be a good spot for it at any rate. Where am I on the map? It's... What the... Where the... What? Yeah, it's like super low res. It's fucking impossible to tell, but it looks on the map like it's literally where I'm standing. So it would seem to me like this is not going to trigger until I find some other place. But we have a few others to check, so I guess we're doing that. But I think there's another thing I need to... I realize this does not make for the best streaming experience. I'm just looking stuff up off screen, but I think like browsing game FAQs on stream might make for an even worse experience. Plus, I'd have to alt-tab out of the game. Nothing much, just passing through. Don't worry about me. I saw something down here. Well, okay. Well, there's a camera over there. No, I just wanted a camera. I don't care about these guys. There we go. Climb, will ya? Okay. Oh, gun dudes again. Oh, this is so confusing. I'm pretty ready to kind of give up on this shit. I just want to find something. So about here, I'm looking for...
What are you waiting for?
I wanted to smoke pellet, but... Oh, hey, we got a Riddler challenge by accident. Break this little gun. Got this dude. Just need to take all these guys out so I can have a little peace and quiet. Alright. Didn't behave like the fight was over. Someone's taunting me. There's something... Oh, okay, this is probably just a weird Riddler puzzle thing. So, am I... Okay, I'm not quite in the right location. It's probably up here? So that's up there. Whoops, wrong button. Let's get up on the rooftop here. Hey!
Are you the one the prophecy spoke of?
Maybe that's what happened. Maybe we just ran into him and... Well, progress. Who is the mysterious figure watching me? Stay vigilant for sightings of the mysterious figure and scan the clues he leaves behind. Are there really clues, though? I don't feel like these... Looking at the finished version of this map and this little guide doesn't seem super helpful. But it means that we had to find this location, like the other locations were empty. He was not there because he was here. So that gives me a little bit of faith that if I look up this other map for the other side quest, if we just check... where are we? This one. We have these two locations checked. The next location that I tried to check was over here, found nothing. Over here, found nothing. Over here, found nothing. That means that we should probably... Is this... No, that's got to be just a map thing, right? Because it kind of looks like it's there on the map, but... oh, okay. No, not really. It's here. So if we make it to that custom waypoint...
Chicks dig the car.
We'll see if we find something. Hey, 243. What's up? Thank you very much for the follow and welcome to the family. Let's see if we can... Oh, God damn it, that guy's a fucking crack shot. So, this place looks pretty empty. Did we check this before? I don't think so. Maybe I'm misremembering what I'm supposed to do in this... Oh, there's a door here. I don't know what this is, but we might as well check it out.
Oh, my hat, my beautiful hat.
Well, okay. I mean, we did this. Pretty funny that you can just go back here. Alright, well, not... Oh, that means that obviously we would have been here. Maybe I need to go back... Maybe I need to go back here. Because, I don't know, it seems like 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, let's see if we can go back and talk to this person. If they're still there. Because if I can't...
Batman's back.
Oh, what's up?
This place is insane. Man, I even saw Bruce Wayne in here earlier. Poor guy's probably dead by now. The name's
Oh, it's kind of neat when you bump into shit like this, though.
TV reporter.
Yeah. You a fan?
No. What are you doing here?
You tell me. I was doing a piece on Strange. I mean, look around you. Does this seem like a good idea to you?
What did you find out?
The official line is he's been out of the country, studying some kind of radical psychiatric therapy technique. I did some digging and found a guy who claims Strange caused his breakdown. Seems that after the professor cured him, he couldn't even remember his name. I wasn't so sure, but I saw some poor guy get dragged off when I was being processed. Strange was picking his victims personally.
Arkham City is a dangerous place.
Trying to remember, so what happened with Strange? Did we kill him? Did he like fucking fall off the tower and explode or some shit? I feel like he probably did, right? I mean, obviously the dialogue, I mean, I can't fault it too much for not taking into account that we've actually beaten the game. But, right, we're heading down there. Right.
This joint tastes like crap. Wonder some of the freaks choose.
Oh, boy. No, I don't want to fight these guys. Yeah, it sure is. See you guys later. Ugh! Trolls are a little funny sometimes.
How come the phones still work anyway?
Right, so let me just see if... There's a person down there. Potential witness, right? It's this guy.
Whoever cut up Wayne knew what he was doing. I guess Wayne must have snapped.
Alright.
Can't blame the guy.
Thanks.
God knows
Now
how
that's
it
helpful.
lasted this long.
I know I finished this side quest back in the day, but right now I feel like I have the fucking guide in front of me and I still feel kind of stuck. But I guess it's possible that this is like held up by some, like the progress is being blocked by some other side mission or something. I don't know. Anyway, it's hush. Because it's like someone's killed and it looked like Bruce Wayne or whatever, and then I don't know, we bump into him eventually. I think I forget exactly how it winds up, but that's the thing anyway. Well, let's see if we can complete this one at least. So we did that one. I'm kind of gonna assume that we have to like do these things. We have to kind of cross back and forth and do these in the most obnoxious order possible. Having said that, the map isn't that huge. I mean, if you're just beelining it from point to point, like it doesn't take more than like 30 seconds to get anywhere pretty much, so. Should be fine. Of course, that's assuming you don't get shot out of the sky by fucking snipers. So, at least now we've confirmed that the goal is to, like, run into himself, so it should be blatantly obvious if we are in the right place or not. I think the next one is on the cathedral. Yeah. And since these two both were pretty close, it seems likely that this is not the one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he would stand right here. So the next one is up there to the east. That's the last one. Let's see if we can find him. I forget. It's... maybe not. I was going to say, isn't that on that water tower? Look at the map. It should be right here. Literally. Well, maybe he, like, fades into existence when we get close. I guess that's possible. Oh yeah, I like that the tower, Wonder Tower or whatever, is just, like, up in flames. Well, here I thought it would be easy to find him now that we checked all the places and found him in one of them. But now we're here, and he's not here. Here I was all hopeful that looking up these guides would make this... cakewalk. Well, so much for that. Because, well, unless it's like, I don't know. He should be up there, right? If he's here, maybe did I maybe speed past those other places a little too quickly? I don't. Okay, he might. I mean, it seems weird, but maybe he's standing like on the ground next to the cathedral. The map is, like I said, it's really tiny, so it's a little hard to see. But I didn't check to see if he's like down here. Maybe he's inside. I don't know. Fuck. He wouldn't be like fucking watching for Batman down in some corner. That doesn't make any sense. Is there a button prompt here? Oh, probably just a corner cover or something. I thought I saw a button prompt flash by. Sometimes there are these like context-specific things. I don't know what the fuck that would be though. I think he should basically be right here. Well, maybe that's how Arkham City concludes. Not with a bang, but with a whimper. But honestly, I'm not too hot on the idea of just like fucking around for hours and hours. I thought it was a camera. That's what I was trying to aim at. That's not a camera. That's a restaurant cocktail bar. Okay, cool. Well, I think we're done. We're not having much success with that. We got 1% progress, so there is that. Tell you what, let's wrap this up here and hop on out of the game, get some jams going, And let's turn this. Oh, maybe the volume is fine. Of course, the wrapping up of a game in the Cape Crusade would not be complete without a little bit of bookkeeping. So we are going to, let's hop on over to this scene, and what do you know, we've got some spreadsheets going here, but first let's take a look here. Hang on, let me do this. 49, Batman Arkham City, Harley Quinn's Revenge has been beaten. We have completed it. There we go. And we have done so in 1 hour. Oh, nice. I reset the timer. But I happen to remember that it was 1:24:59. What can I say? Having played the DLC stuff for Arkham Knight, I cannot say that I'm terribly surprised by the underwhelming nature. I guess it's shorter. It was shorter than I thought because I'd still expected it to be maybe 2-ish hours or something. I mean, I did complain a little bit when playing it that they like stretched things a little thin with like do this and like, oh, now we have to do this little fetch quest and run around to do stuff. But even so, there wasn't that much of it. Like if this was the amount of content they had, if this was like the stories, I feel silly calling it story even. If this was the amount of narrative, dialogue, cutscenes that they had, it would not have been improved by stretching it to 2 or 3 hours, because there's just not. That's not really the issue. Like, it takes place in an awkward level design area of the game with a few small, like, original areas, I guess. The combat encounters are nothing special, nothing new. You get to play as Robin for 20 minutes. That's neat, I guess. But without the freedom to explore the city, it's like doesn't mean that much. Story-wise, yeah, no, it even like it's the only thing it does is like further cement Rocksteady's like ridiculous hard on for everything to do with the Joker. I don't know. I mean, Harley Quinn didn't have much of a presence in Arkham City. Like, she's there, but you don't see a lot of her. So if you enjoy her character, it's cool, I guess, that she's like the main character here. But again, like, what does it matter? No one is in this for more than 10 minutes because the whole thing is like over in 10 minutes. I feel like if you were to have paid money for this DLC, I guess you get a bunch of extra combat challenge, like all those challenge maps, and you get some extra skins. I feel like that is like far more worthwhile than this actual story campaign. It was very like meh. And I look forward to checking out the Origins DLCs because I don't know what they are like at all, but I do know what the Arkham Knight ones are like, and I feel like we could probably get through pretty much all of them in a single sitting. They're just very, like, there's one proper campaign, which is, yeah, A Matter of Family, which is the Batgirl, like, story DLC. And that one is definitely more substantial than this. It has its own unique little self-contained open world map. It's still pretty short. I think, completed it in 1, maybe 2 sittings back when it first came out. But it's a lot more fleshed out than this was. But all the other ones, the story pack, whatever, in Arkham Knight are like shorter than this. And yeah, very nothing. So I'm curious if Origins is the same way. We'll get there before too long because the next game coming up, yeah, let's color this green. We've done it. Unbold this and bold into the next game, which is going to be Lego Batman 2 DC Superheroes. I believe I own this game on Steam. I own this game for sure in one way or another. Maybe... Yeah, I think I have the third one on PS4. Yeah, looks like it. I think I have the Steam version of this. We're like playing through the Lego games on all the different platforms. I mean, every game on a different platform. We're not playing it through on every platform. One is quite enough. So let me just... no, that's not what I meant to do. So let's just call this current game. And the other kind of bookkeeping we have here is going to be pretty straightforward too. Speedrun of Harley Quinn's Revenge is 20 minutes. Yeah, doesn't seem like a very interesting speedrun. Like, at least with an open world game, there's like routing involved. Now, I happen to know that Arkham City in particular has a lot of like weird out of bounds tricks and stuff. I mean, there are, these encounters and stuff. Definitely you can come up with interesting speed strats for the like Harley Quinn boss fight and stuff like that. 20 minutes, it's a lot faster than I beat it. But yeah, it seems you speed through it even further. Like there's even less to it there. I mean, I wouldn't. How long something takes to speedrun isn't really a good indicator of how long it is, given that the full-on Arkham City takes like an hour and a half or something to speedrun, and it's obviously a much bigger game. So I mean, percentage-wise of an average playthrough versus a speedrun, that's a much bigger difference than this. But I don't know, apples and oranges. Anywho, next Batman is gonna be Lego Batman 2. Mixed feelings about that one. Like I said before, the first game was charming, but the charm really didn't carry the game for its entire length. It was really... I didn't really enjoy it all that much, ultimately. So I'm curious to see if Lego Batman 2, or 3 for that matter, manages to add enough to the formula to keep my interest up throughout the first game. Lego 2 is the first Lego game with voices. Oh, that I don't look forward to. At least, I say that because I liked the charm of the pantomime in the old games. But still, like I said, the first game ultimately didn't keep my interest throughout. So, even though on a, in the principle of the thing, like, I don't know, on a theoretical level, I don't like the idea of them just doing voices. That's going to be one of the things to look out for, How does that actually, like, will I enjoy the storytelling aspect in Lego Batman 2 more than the first game? Who knows? It's very possible. I kind of feel like I can't like it a lot less. Like, not to say that I hated it the first game or anything, but just, like, by the time I was at the end of the game, I just, like, I didn't care much about it. Although, I don't know, like, at the same time, those cutscenes were maybe the thing that I did care about at the end. The puzzle aspect was kind of bland. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, how much of the speedrun stuff is story? I mean, I'm pretty sure you mostly skip all the dialogue and cutscenes and stuff. Maybe some of it isn't skippable, but I'm pretty sure most of it is. 20 minutes for Harley Quinn's Revenge, I think it's mostly just traversal. Because you have to get to those different bombs, you have to get to the guys with the code. Every time there's an encounter, every time there's one of those like stealth rooms, getting past the snipers and shit, like if you have a good level of knowledge of the game, you can probably kind of beeline through there, and that's not going to hold you up. But yeah, it's just the getting to point A to point B. I think it would be very straightforward. I think that's pretty much it. Where's my mouse cursor? There we are. Now let's close this down, please. There we go. And let's do this. And hang on. Give me 1 second. Come on. There we go. Fucking window didn't want to move. Boom. There we go. So here we have the statistics for the rogues gallery, all the villains making appearances. So I guess I don't know, very, very optimistic to hope that this would change too much with Harley Quinn's Revenge. Looking at this list, to the best of my knowledge, it is complete as of Arkham City. I didn't do a super thorough research to see if there are other characters in the game that we didn't list, but I did make sure, like, I believe Hush is on here somewhere, because he was in a game. He was in Yeah, he was in... No, wait. Okay, he's not actually... Okay. So let's add him, because I know Hush is in there. So a third appearance for Hush. There we go. Because he is in Arkham City, even though we didn't get to see him. Deadshot, Solomon Grundy make their first appearance in this game. Or in... I don't know. In Arkham City. Harley Quinn's Revenge. I mean, there's Harley Quinn. Where are we? Number 13. There we go. 49. Let's add that. And it gives her a little bump there. She's been in 14 games right now. So, yeah, it gives her a little chance to catch up with a few of these like slightly more popular, more frequent characters like Catwoman, Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, Riddler, like this little chunk of all these animated series and like main villains who kind of show up in a lot of different incarnations. Like Penguin and Catwoman also get a significant bump from having been in all the Batman Returns games. Joker's the Joker, of course, you know, he's kind of going to be in everything. Not in this one, a rare occurrence, but the Joker has not sat out many game appearances. Solomon Grundy, I mean, he's at the bottom because he's the most recent. The list is in the order of first appearance. And it's kind of fun to see, like, Killer Moth, Electrocutioner, and Firebug. They're all in the NES Batman game, which was pretty early in the run. So that's why they're all up there. Killer Moth was in the Brave and the Bold games, I think, both of them. I happen to know that we have not seen the last of either of those guys. Or at least, by the end, none of those three will stick with one appearance. Rupert Thorne is a villain who showed up in the animated series game for the Mega CD in the cutscenes. I'd say he's got a good chance of not getting many more appearances. Ratcatcher, another nice deep cut from the Xbox game Dark Tomorrow, which I kind of liked. It's shockingly janky, that game. It's completely absurd in so many ways, but I really, really like the vibe of that game for some reason. And there's a whole chunk of like Batman Beyond villains that only showed up. The only reason they have 2 appearances really is because there's the Game Boy Color game and the PS1 and 64 game, which technically are different games, but they all have like basically the same villains. Black Mask, interestingly, shows up in the intro of Arkham City. I had no idea. I'd never noticed that when I played the game back in the day. He's right there, so we added him for that. And of course, he's ostensibly the main villain in Origins. So he'll get at least one more appearance there. I'm wondering if he's in Blackgate too. I guess probably. Oh god, the flying section, yeah. And the camera in Dark Tomorrow being such a whack piece of garbage that you basically have to rely on the minimap to understand where you're even going. And then in the final stage, they pull out the rug from under you and just remove the minimap. Oh boy. But I actually learned to navigate my way around it, and we beat it. Speaking of which, Ubu, of course, Ra's al Ghul's like right-hand man. That's his sole appearance. I mean, it's pretty cool. Dark Tomorrow was the first appearance of Black Mask, Mr. Zsasz, Talia al Ghul, Ubu, and Ratcatcher. So that's a whole bunch of dudes that like only hadn't shown up until then. And Ubu and Ratcatcher has not shown up since. But we'll see. I mean, the Lego games have a lot of characters in them, but there's also like 50 of them just being like generic thugs based on each villain and shit. So I'm not sure. Like, I was a little surprised with the first game of it not having... I kind of expected it to have a bigger roster of characters. Or at least like to add more weird deep cuts. And especially the sequels too, like given that they're more kind of DC focused more than just straight Batman, means that maybe we'll have like a bunch of other characters, but it's all going to be like Superman villains and Green Lantern villains and shit. That's kind of what it was like with the Brave and the Bold. There were a few characters that we added from those. Copperhead, Catman, Clock King, Gentleman Ghost, Music Meister, all. Babyface, yeah, he was only in the DS version. But there were also a bunch of like Starro and Sinestro and whoever else. Like that entire game, those 2 games, that entire show is kind of this old big crossover thing. But ultimately, I've decided to only stick with like the Batman villains. Partially because those other characters might only appear once anyway, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's a weird stat to keep track of. but also because this list is fucking getting unwieldy enough. So, we'll see. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see if Lego Batman 2 manages to actually have any new Batman characters, or if it's all going to be repeats of people on this list, and every other new character is all like non-Batman characters. We'll find out eventually. And I'll try to see if I can like present this and maybe some other interesting stats. Interesting, quote unquote. Depends on if you're a big nerd like me, I guess. I like statistics. I'll try to provide some more shit like this by the end. We're going to do like some kind of big old wrap up when we're all done with this. And I definitely, like 100%, when we're done with the Caped Crusade, I want to do a ranking of all Batman games. Like my definitive ranking, not, you know, maybe the best to worst, but like my favorite to least favorite or whatever. I have some ideas of how I want to do that, but we'll see. That's probably a few months off anyway. I know for a fact that I have some hot takes on, I don't know, some of that. Maybe I was going to say the best and the worst. I don't know if I have hot takes on the best Batman game. I don't even really know at this point what... I mean, I know some of my favorites, but... I mean, I guess I would place the Batman Forever arcade game higher on my list than most people would. And most people would probably, if they know about it, say that Dark Tomorrow is at the bottom. But it absolutely is not for me, because in terms of technical competence, it's definitely near the bottom. But it had so much more interesting stuff going for it. I was entertained and intrigued by that game, much more so than certain others. Beyond is at the bottom, probably. If not, it is very, very close to the bottom. The Game Boy Color version, I think, is slightly less terrible. But yeah, the PS1 Batman Beyond game has... I'm hard pressed to think of any redeeming qualities of that. It's like terrible, and it's so bland, and it's really boring. It's not nice to look at. It's got these completely boring still frame images, and it's like, it's a short game, but it's still too long because it just drags because there's nothing to it. It's a terrible game. Yeah, that one's probably at the bottom, I would have to say. But there's also like certain games that just get like fully memed on. Like, I mean, both versions of Batman Forever to whatever degree. The console game I think is super interesting, and I have a soft spot for it because I played it as a kid. My biggest complaint with that game, truthfully, is that it's way too difficult. It's really punishing. It's really long. I mean, there's bullshit like the circus level bomb clock being bugged. So, like, if you complete that level, or if you game over on that level and start the game over, the next time you get to that stage, the timer will start at where it was when it ended the last time. So if you're supposed to have, like, 5 minutes, you can get to that stage and have, like, 12 seconds. And, like, instant game over because you can't beat the stage. That's inexcusable. But beyond that, I think it's a fun game. It's a really cool, like, very unique, like, fighting game mechanics based beat 'em up game with like exploration elements to it. Like it's a super fascinating game. And same thing with Batman and Robin, developed by the same guys at Probe. It's like too ambitious for its own good. It's I feel like that game is a perfect example of a game that just full on collapses under its own weight. But I have a tremendous amount of respect for the ideas and the sheer ambition of that game. It has like an open world, real-time clock mechanics, like a full-fledged combat system, 3 different characters, a bunch of different gadgets. Like there's this whole thing, the structure of the game built around solving crimes and finding clues to figure out where to be to stop the next robbery. Like it's like that. I would love to see someone take that game and just like basically remake it, take those ideas and build a new game around it. You know, I'm a sucker for games with like interesting structure revolving around like real-time stuff. Like I love Dead Rising, and although I've never really gotten to play them, unfortunately, the Way of the Samurai games always intrigue me a lot as well. Games that are maybe a little shorter, but push you into trying different things every time and like have a world that moves forward without you know, games where it truly feels like the game world is alive and, you know, not just there for you. When the game feels like the world will progress with or without you, that has a unique kind of immersion to it that I really, really enjoy. And frankly, I think it seems almost ironic given what the movie is like, but the Batman and Robin game on PS1, I feel like is almost the only Batman game to incorporate the kind of detective aspect whatsoever. The Arkham games occasionally pay a little bit of lip service to it, but structurally it's not really built around it. There's these little crime scene investigations. You pick up a trail, you track it. That's cool, I like it, but at the end of the day, like, it's just window dressing. In Batman and Robin, like, you literally have to be at the right place at the right time, find items, go back to the Batcave, analyze them, get a clue, and like, you have to do it in time, and like maybe even figure out the answer to a riddle or a vague clue to figure out where you're supposed to go and be there. And when you go there and something happens, you realize, aha, okay, there's these Mr. Freeze thugs here. I'm at the right place. Like, that's super satisfying. It's turn on detective vision and follow where it sends you. A little bit, yeah, right? Because there's no like actual thought process going into it. Now, we should not pretend maybe that the Batman and Robin detective mechanics are like super deep or anything. But like I said, it's the closest any of these games ever get to having a focus on the detective aspect. Like, Batman Returns on DOS is sort of a point-and-click adventure, but it's also, like, it falls a little short on what you would expect from that type of game. It's a very strange point-and-click game because it's extremely narrow in, like, the options you have to explore and try different things. You can go to a bunch of different locations, but, like, 9 times out of 10, there's nothing in any location until you find the right one to go to. And that was where you're supposed to go, so that's the one thing that moves the plot forward. Like, it's a little iffy. But I would love a proper point-and-click Batman game. So it'll be interesting to get to the Telltale game. I know that it's not a point-and-click. It's, I guess, more like the Walking Dead kind of, you know, choose-your-own-adventure novel style. But even so, that gives it a good chance of having, you know, being a Batman game that's not about Batman running down the street punching dudes in the face, which is like 90% of Batman games. Anyway. That's my random rant about that. We're done with Harley Quinn's Revenge. We're done with Arkham City. Feels kind of good, I guess. I look forward to Arkham Origins. Feels weird that it's so soon, but like I said, of course we have Lego Batman 2 in between. So we are pretty much done here, but I'm a little unsure here. I have some stuff. There's stuff. Not just this, I have some other stuff too. And I kind of wanted to maybe do some unboxing stuff tomorrow, like proper. I thought maybe I would do some of it here, but you know, the more I'm thinking about it, like it's kind of unceremonious, just kind of tacking it on at the end here. Proper unboxing streams can take like fucking 14 hours to get through 5 things, so maybe it would be beneficial to start here a little bit. But I think maybe I'm better off doing that tomorrow in its own proper stream. Hopefully tomorrow, because, well, I guess I can show, well, it's going to be difficult. Never mind. It's a huge box here, but I got a new computer monitor that I would like to install. But doing so, it's going to be a little time consuming and a little labor intensive. So that could take like all day tomorrow, and I might not feel like streaming when I'm done. We'll see. But assuming that either the monitor installation goes really smoothly or it's too daunting and I put it off for later, yeah, let's try to do a little bit of Black Friday week shopping unboxing tomorrow. Maybe Sunday, but let's aim for tomorrow. Yeah, we've got mostly PS1 games, but I think if I remember correctly, some maybe PS2 and Super Famicom. Not a huge pile of games, maybe 10 games or so, which I guess is more than we usually get through on one of those streams anyway. But yeah, let's check out some old games tomorrow. What do you guys say? Sounds good to me, at least. But hey, we've at least checked off one more Batman game on the list. That's 49 down and 16 to go, if my math is correct. Yeah, 16 games left, and that includes like 12 Arkham Knight things, so it's really more like 6 games or something. Thank you very much for hanging out, tuning in. Stick around for a minute as I see if anyone else is streaming. I can send you guys over to. Take care, everyone. Have a delightful rest of your weekend if I don't see you again before it's over. And yeah, enjoy your weekend. Thank you very much for watching. Peace.